The appeals process is a critical component of the Title IX grievance procedures, offering both parties a formal mechanism to challenge important procedural or substantive decisions. These include the dismissal of a formal complaint and or the written notice of outcome following a hearing. The appeals process ensures fairness, upholds the integrity of the grievance process, and provides an additional safeguard to support accurate and just outcomes. By allowing a structured review of these decisions, the institution reinforces its commitment to due process and equitable treatment for all participants. The institution guarantees that both the reporting party and the responding party have equal rights and access to the appeal process, regardless of the outcome of the initial investigation or hearing. Eligibility to appeal. Either party may submit an appeal in response to 1. The dismissal of a formal complaint before a hearing, or 2. The written notice of outcome issued at the conclusion of the hearing process. Timeline for submission. Appeals must be submitted in writing no later than 5 business days following the receipt of the applicable notice. This ensures a timely and efficient process. Finality if deadline is missed. If no appeal is submitted within the allotted timeframe, the case will be considered closed. Late or future requests for an appeal will be denied. Procedural fairness. Appeals will be reviewed and decided in an impartial, neutral, and unbiased manner. Throughout the appeal process, both parties will be afforded equal procedural rights, including access to appeal materials and the opportunity to respond. Appeals. Hearing Board. Appeals are heard and decided by a Conduct Review Appeals Board, which operates independently from those involved in the original investigation or adjudication. Composition. The board is composed of at least 2 members, none of whom may have had prior involvement in the case under review. Impartiality. All members must be free from actual or perceived bias or conflicts of interest. Training requirement. Board members must complete annual training on Title IX, due process, and the appeals process to ensure consistency, compliance, and competency. Appeals are not opportunities for rehearing or second-guessing the original decision, but must be based on specific criteria. Either party may file an appeal under one or more of the following grounds. Procedural error. There was a significant deviation from the established procedures that had a material impact on the outcome of the case. The appealing party must clearly identify and document how the deviation occurred and how it influenced the decision. New evidence. There is new, relevant information that was not reasonably available at the time the determination of responsibility or dismissal was made. The new information must be capable of significantly altering the outcome. Inappropriate sanctions. The sanctions imposed were clearly inappropriate and or disproportionate to the conduct for which the responding party was found responsible. Bias or conflict of interest. The Title IX. Coordinator, investigator, or hearing officer had an actual bias or conflict of interest against either party, or against reporting or responding parties generally, that materially affected the outcome of the case. The appeals process is structured and specific to ensure clarity and fairness and includes the following. Written statement. The appealing party must provide a clear, concise, and complete written statement outlining the basis for the appeal, as well as all supporting facts and documentation. Limitations. Merely disagreeing with the outcome of the case is not sufficient for an appeal. Dissatisfaction alone does not meet the threshold for review. Narrow scope. Appeals are limited to the issues outlined in the stated grounds. Submissions must be focused, relevant, and substantiated by specific evidence or procedural concerns. Dismissal for lack of grounds. If the appeal does not meet the stated criteria or lacks sufficient justification, the Title IX team has the authority to dismiss the appeal. Opportunity to respond. Each party will be given an opportunity to review and respond to the other party's appeal. Any such response must be submitted in writing within 3 business days of receipt. Review materials. The Appeals Board will review the case based solely on the materials provided, including the final investigative report, the written outcome determination, any written appeals and responses submitted by the parties. Authority of the Appeals Board. The Board may evaluate the appropriateness and relevance of evidence, determine the weight to assign it, and request additional clarifying information if necessary. Appeals are not intended to be a complete reevaluation of all facts or findings. The appeals board does not substitute its own judgment for that of the investigator, hearing officer, or sanctioning authority. The decisions of the original adjudication are presumed to be reasonable and appropriate unless a clear error is identified based on the stated appeal grounds. The institution is committed to resolving appeals in a timely and efficient manner, balancing the need for thorough review with the importance of timely resolution. Review timeline. The appeals board will strive to complete the review process within 10 business days of receiving all appeal-related documents. Overall duration. The entire appeal process, from submission to written notice of outcome, should generally not exceed 21 business days. Extensions for good cause. If additional time is required due to the complexity of the appeal or other justified reasons, the college will notify both parties in writing and provide a rationale for the delay. Written notice of outcome. The appeals board will provide its findings and rationale to the Title IX coordinator. The Title IX coordinator will consult with the Title IX team to review the outcome. Both parties will receive written notice of the appeals board's decision at the same time. The notice will outline the result of the appeal, the rationale for the decision, and any next steps. Finality of decision. The appeals board's decision is final. In certain cases, however, the board may refer the matter back to the Title IX coordinator for additional action or review. The possible results of an appeal are based on what is being appealed, either a dismissal of the complaint or the written outcome following a hearing. If appealing a dismissal of a formal complaint, the appeals board may deny the appeal and uphold the original dismissal, or grant the appeal and refer the matter back to the Title IX coordinator with specific instructions for further review or action. If appealing a written notice of outcome, the appeals board may deny the appeal and affirm the original outcome, grant the appeal and refer the matter back for a new hearing with guidance on necessary corrections, grant the appeal and send the case back for additional investigation, providing detailed instructions, affirm the factual findings but recommend a modification of the sanctions, referring the matter to the supervisor of the sanctioning authority. This concludes the Title IX and Violence Against Women Act adjudicators training. For further assistance, contact Becky Hudson at rudson1@nwacc.edu. Access additional resources and links on the following page. Thank you for all you do.